Hello friends, in this lecture we will discuss about some examples of essential singular points of a complex function. So let's take the first example. So we are considering this function f of z equal to z square into cos of 1 by z. So first we will discuss about the singular point of the function. As we can see, the angle 1 by z, it is not defined at the point z equal to 0, so the cosine of the angle is also not defined at z equal to 0. Therefore, we can say that z equal to 0 is a singular point of the given complex function. So next, we have to check the nature of singularity of z equal to 0 for the given function. That means we have to check z equal to 0 is either a essential singularity, removable singularity, or a non-essential singularity for the function. For that, we have to calculate the Lorentz series expansion of the given function about the point z equal to 0. So for that, we have used the standard expansion of cos theta, that is 1 minus theta square by 2 factorial plus theta to the power 4 by 4 factorial and so on. So for the given function, we have written cos of 1 by z as 1 minus 1 by z square into 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by z to the power 4 into 1 by 4 factorial and so on. Now multiplying z square with the entire expansion of cos of 1 by z, we will get the Lorentz series expansion of the given function about z equal to 0, and the Lorentz series expansion comes out to be z square minus 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by z square into 1 by 4 factorial minus 1 by z to the power 4 into 1 by 6 factorial and so on. So as you can see, the Lorentz series expansion contains only two positive power terms, and the principal part of the expansion contains infinite number of negative power terms of z. Therefore, we can say that z equal to 0 is an essential singular point of the function, as the Lorentz series expansion contains infinite number of negative power terms in its principal part. So in this way, we can understand that how z equal to 0 is an essential singular point of the given function. So next, we will calculate the residue of the function at the essential singular point z equal to 0. As we know, residue of any complex function at any singular point is given by the coefficient of 1 by z minus a in its Lorentz series expansion. So we can say that residue of the function at z equal to 0 will be equal to the coefficient of 1 by z in the Lorentz series expansion. So we have already calculated the Lorentz series expansion for the function, and in the Lorentz series expansion there is no 1 by z term present. Thus we can say that residue of the function at z equal to 0 will be equal to 0 for the given function. So in this way, we can calculate the essential singularity and the corresponding residue for a given complex function. So let's move to the next example. So next we will take the second example, and the function we have taken is f of z equal to z square into cos of 1 by z minus 2. As discussed earlier, at z equal to 2, the angle 1 upon z minus 2 is not defined, so cosine of the angle is also not defined. So we can say that z equal to 2 is a singular point of the given complex function. So next we'll find out the nature of singularity of the given function. So for that we will calculate the Lorentz series expansion of the function about the point z equal to 2. As we know, if we calculate the Lorentz series expansion of any complex function f of z about the singular point z equal to a, then the Lorentz series expansion will contain positive and negative integer powers of z minus a. That means, if we calculate the Lorentz series expansion of the given complex function about the point z equal to 2, then the Lorentz series expansion will contain positive and negative integer powers of z minus 2. That's why we have written the first part of the given function z cube in terms of z minus 2, that is z cube equal to z minus 2 plus 2 whole cube. In the next line, we have used the standard expansion of a plus b whole cube and cos theta. In the first part, we have used the expansion of a plus b whole cube and written z minus 2 plus 2 whole cube as z minus 2 whole cube plus 6 z minus 2 whole square plus 12 into z minus 2 plus 8. And in the second part, we have used the standard expansion of cosine theta and written cos of 1 by z minus 2 as 1 minus 1 by z minus 2 whole square into 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by z minus 2 to the power 4 into 1 by 4 factorial, and so on. Multiplying these two series, we will get the final form of the required Lorentz series expansion. And it is very much clear from the expansion itself that the principal part of the expansion will contain infinite number of negative power terms of z minus 2. Therefore, we can say that z equal to 2 will be an essential singular point of the given function. So next we will calculate the residue of the function at the singular point z equal to 2. As we know, residue of the function at z equal to 2 will be equal to the coefficient of 1 upon z minus 2 in the corresponding Lorentz series expansion. So we have to check that from which terms of the Lorentz series expansion we are getting the term 1 by z minus 2. So if you look into the Lorentz series expansion, you will see that we are getting 1 by z minus 2 from two combinations. First one, product of z minus 2 whole cube term and 1 by z minus 2 to the power 4 into 1 by 4 factorial term. And the second combination from which we are getting 1 by z minus 2 is product of 12 into z minus 2 term and minus 1 by z minus 2 whole square into 1 by 2 factorial term. So from the first combination we will get 1 by z minus 2 into 1 by 4 factorial, and from the second combination we will get minus 6 by z minus 2. So adding these two terms, we will get the residue of the function at z equal to 2 as coefficient of 1 by z minus 2, which is equal to 1 by 4 factorial from the first combination and minus 6 from the second combination, and the final result for the residue will be minus 143 by 24. So in this way we can calculate the singular point and the corresponding residue for the given complex function. So thanks for watching the lecture.